Welcome back, everyone. Today I have a 2018 BMW M3 competition, and I'm going to be giving you guys a POV tour, walk around and drive. So let's go ahead and get started. So the 2018 M3 is known as the F80 M3. It is the 5th generation of the BMW M3, which is BMW's performance sedan. And this has a twin turbo inline 6 known as the S55, which makes 444 horsepower, and it has a bunch of different tuning as well as different suspension. So since this is the 2018, it is the facelifted LCI version, so it's got different headlights, it's got aftermarket taillights, the 21-inch competition wheels, as well as the carbon fiber roof. Let's go ahead and start at the engine. So here it is, the S55. The S55 is based off of the N55, which is BMW's refreshed version of the N54. The difference between the N55 and the S55 is that the S55 has forged internals, it is twin turbo, and it is a closed deck block, meaning that it can make a lot more power. So some cosmetic differences here from the N55 are that we have a different air intake system. We have this carbon fiber strut brace going all around the engine bay. We have a different overall engine cover, and some things are placed a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and hear the engine a little bit. So what you just heard there was the S55. Now this M3 in particular has a double to single pipe conversion and a catless downpipe, and as you saw, those exhaust tips over there. It sounds pretty good compared to stock. Now some people say that the S55 is really raspy with the twin turbo design compared to the N55, and that's true, but it still sounds pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and head inside and get a tour from the driver's seat. All right, here we are in the driver's seat of the M3 here, and this is where you want to be with this car. This is a very special and performance-oriented car. So starting at the driver's side here, we have our normal just window switches, mirror switches, door handle, and door storage pocket. To the left of the steering wheel here, we have our lane keep controls, headlight controls, and moving to the center here, we have our M steering wheel with our paddles, M modes, and cell phone controls, as well as cruise control. On the dash here, obviously we have a different gray dash in the M's with a little red line meter on the tat, which is pretty cool. And moving to the center here, we have our DCT shifter with the DCT controls, the park assist, the cameras, as well as all of the different things that you can change here, such as steering, suspension, and throttle response. So this is the adjustable dampening, just a regular throttle response controller, and making the steering heavy or in comfort mode, as well as traction off buttons right here. And then we have our iDrive controller with our normal F-Series dash and iDrive screen. Moving up here, we have our dome-like controls with no storage up here, our SOS button, and since it's a competition with the carbon fiber roof, there is no sunroof, so it's just a continuous black roof. All right, moving to the passenger side here, we can see the competition seats with the ventilator holes that only come on the 2018 M3 comps. You can see that it has a very aggressive bolstering on both the seat and the seat back, with the M3 logo stitched into the seat. And this is overall a pretty good seat for daily driving and driving on the track as well. All right, now that we've gotten a tour of the car, let's go ahead and go for a drive. All right, here we are in the driver's seat of the M3, beginning the driving tour. So to start it, you just put your foot on the brake and push the button. And now once you have it started and you want to get going, you can optimize all your settings. So for example, I have the throttle response in Sport Plus, the suspension on Sport Plus, and the steering on Sport Plus, meaning that everything is the stiffest and most responsive it can be right now. So to set off in a DCT, it is essentially an automated manual, so you always have to have the handbrake on if you want to park. There's no park. The only gears that there are reverse, neutral, and then your drive, which the DCT will do for you. So right now we're in neutral. To put it in drive, you just put to the side and it goes into first gear. To set off, you just tap the gas and the car will set off for you. So while you're in Sport Plus, you have to shift. The car won't shift for you, so you can either use a DCT controller or the paddles on the steering wheel. So just driving through this parking lot exit here, those minor curves, you can feel how stiff everything is with this ride, especially with the M3 Comp. So just setting off, you're normally going normal road speeds. The DCT is lightning quick, even just with these regular shifts. And if you wanted to get a manual in these cars, you have to get the non-comp version, which is essentially the base version, which is not bad, but you miss out on the quick shifting and daily drivability of the DCT. However, in traffic, a DCT might be a little bit finicky and annoying just because it has to constantly get the clutches re-engaged, disengaged, re-engaged, and it might wear down your DCT a bit in traffic, but overall DCT ownership is pretty good if you're looking to daily this. Then the Sport Plus mode really gives it that exaggerated exhaust sound with the burbles. So braking is phenomenal in this. Like, you just tap the brake to slow down. It scrubs off speed so quickly. You feel very confident taking corners when you're driving this. And this car has some Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires, so you can also be rest assured that you're going to have good traction when it comes down to driving hard. So just sitting at a stoplight here, you get to admire the beautiful dashboard with the gray gauges, the M tachometer, the M logo. It just looks much nicer than a stock F Series does. All right, let's go ahead and see the acceleration of this thing. There's a cop right there. Man, the acceleration of this thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you just put your foot down when the tires are warm, this thing is powerful enough to still kick the rear end out a little bit, which you kind of got to be careful of when you're driving this thing. So personally, I daily drive my 335, which is a generation older than this, and it's a manual, so I'm not really used to the whole DCT thing. But I can really appreciate it for what it is. It really is a good compromise of being daily drivable and still being able to take this into the track, which it's intended for. So the F80 and the F55 don't really have that many common issues, but there is one main issue that plagues a lot of S55s with DCTs, and that is the dreaded crank hub issue, where if you were to drive too aggressively or use the kickdown too aggressively to skip gears, the crank hub in the front may spin and then you will toast your engine. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you are looking to buy one of these. If the crank hub is done, if it's a manual, you don't really have to worry about it too much, but with the DCTs, it's something to look out for. But compared to the previous generation, with the E90, the E92 M3, the S55 is a different beast. The E92 and the E90 had the S65 4-liter V8, which made around 420 horsepower. But the thing is that it made all of it in the top end of the RPM range, which kind of made it lack a lot of low-end torque and made it feel slow. Well, this thing solves that with a twin turbo setup, which it gives the best of both worlds with low-end torque and high-end power. So this really is a good compromise if you're looking to make a lot of power. But to be honest, you can never replace the soul of the V8, which with the high revving, I believe it was 86 or 8900 RPMs. It really was different first time. However, I think the F80 is the perfect compromise with daily drivability and having a fast and fun car if you're looking for something like this. The only issue is with these is that they're still pretty pricey and they hold their value quite well, which if you're an owner, then that's good for you, but if you're looking to buy, then it might be a bit of a letdown. But yeah, it has all the creature comforts you'd want in a daily. It's got your heated seats, your heated steering wheel, it's got your nav, your radio, your good speaker system. I mean, it's a pretty comfortable car to run. A lot of people in warmer climates will daily these, and even in cold and snowy climates you can still daily this, but it's going to be a lot harder than if you had a regular all-wheel drive car, or just something different than this. But the tuning potential with the S55 really is insane. You can push a lot of power out of these just with upgraded turbos and a tune. So this thing really has a good bang for its buck. And as you can see here, we're in a bit of traffic with the DCT, and it's not too bad, but it's just like driving a regular automatic. But you do see the clutch kind of re-engaging every time you get back on the throttle. It raises the RPMs. That's enough of that. So I would say the competitors of the F80 M3 are the Audi RS5 and maybe the Mercedes C63. But me personally, being a BMW guy, I'd rather have this over any of those. Compared to the next generation M3 and M4, this is the last M3 which has that real visceral driving feeling, as if like you're driving a car and not really driving a computer, which a lot of G series owners have complaints about. Yeah, the new M3s might have insane power, all-wheel drive, and just are monsters when it comes to speed and drivability. But this car can't be beat when it comes to the fun factor and it having a soul still when you drive a car like this. But that's all I had for this video, guys. If you guys like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and thanks for watching.